Hello everyone, Smithy Bricks here, back again for another fantabulous video. Today I'm extremely excited because I just bought the 75302 Imperial Shuttle. This is a $70 set released March 2021. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. It comes with 3 minifigures, an Imperial pilot / officer, pilot, labeled as officer, Darth Vader, as well as Episode 6, Luke Skywalker. We'll take a look at those dudes later. First, I want to talk about the extremely controversial Imperial Shuttle. Now, personally, I really like this set, not for what it has, but for its potential. Now, you might think I'm some sort of psychotic psychologist, in a way, but I really love this set because I really love to modify Lego sets. It's kind of my thing. Within an hour of building something, if there's no delay, I've already taken it apart 20 times and rebuilt it. So in this case, the double chin, or the landing gear. Now, the new 2021 Lego Wave has shown a decrease in price as well as value. And I think this set, out of all 3 of the sets that were decreased in size and price, does make the most sacrifices for that decrease in price. This is my first Imperial Shuttle, so I really don't have any references to go off of, but so far it's been a really nice model to have, even without taking it apart and modifying it, which I should have a review out pretty soon, or a modifying video about it pretty soon. So, first I want to go over all the things that I don't care about. Of course, I'm going to be nitpicking every little detail because I'm a perfectionist. So first off, stud shooters. You can shoot them. Second, double chin. Ugly as heck. Like, that should be air sealed, otherwise our Imperial pilot is going to suffocate in the vacuum of space. Seats, 1 person in the cockpit. You can see a little bit there, there's that little piece that goes in between the legs, that's what she said. And your Imperial pilot, you can remove his gun if you feel so fit. Then you can take his legs, get him into a sitting position. He doesn't actually have to be leaned all the way back, you can set it back. He fits in there just fine, actually. But if you lean him back all the way, it just looks kind of odd, not gonna lie, especially with his hands where they are. So about midway, maybe a little bit more towards the sitting up side. Kind of try to move his hands out of the way, so kind of up like that, and it looks best for what it offers. I personally would have liked to see 2 minifigures capable of seating in there, but it's fine. Next part of the nitpicking, landing gear. Now the Imperial Shuttle has 2 bits of landing gear shown in pretty much all the other models, maybe aside from the 2001 and 2005 model. But this one has, the 2 bits of landing gear that are farther back than usual. They should be about the middle. But it also has this singular piece right in the front. So it's like a triangular setup. So if I were to, bump it, I can move back and forth, as one does when you're supposed to be a steady transport for Imperial higher-ups. Next little bit, the back here is just kind of ugly, not gonna lie. Especially this upper part. This bottom part is beautiful, I love that. This part, no, not at all. It's got a lot of technique, kind of useless and pointless in a way. Especially this bit right here holds literally nothing. I could do so much more with that. And then this bar, it's essential. Really don't like it, but it's there and it needs to be put there. If we bring the wings down, we can get a look at You don't have to bring them down, but it helps for visibility. Bring those down and lift this part up. I have something to say about the mechanism to lift up in a few minutes. The inside is quite terrible, disgusting even. This should hold 30 personnel. Now, of course, this isn't to scale, but this would be at least possible to hold 3 and maybe a tiny bit of cargo. Of course, it's not really shown here in the best way, but there's a seat in the back for Luke and then Darth Vader. I'm not going to put Darth Vader in because another problem, his cape does not like to bend very well. It's not very malleable, if I can use those big boy words. Put Luke in, he sits just fine in there, you know how they sit. You close it up, he fits in there. But what I will do is I'll take Darth Vader and I'll just sit him right there. Stand him, Closes just fine. Which is something I'm impressed that they are able to stand. Which is quite nice and surprising. Take these dudes out. Get on to the next little bit. This part right here in between the cockpit and the body. I'm gonna remove the cockpit a little bit, but you can see just look at that. That is ugly, even from this angle. Not as bad as the double chin, but still not very nice. I think other than that, though, this part is not the most pleasurable thing to see, but what are you gonna do about it? But I think other than that, there's nothing too bad. The cockpit's the worst part, by far. There's that little gap and a little bit of red showing through, but other than that, it's perfectly fine. So, if we move on to the wings, they're held up by these joint pieces, Looks pretty nice. Could have been put in white. I'm sure they would have had to bump up the price a little bit, but, only the best is good enough. Lego's getting a little hypocritical. The underside has a lot of very nice, not nice, but structural bits, holding it up nice and sturdy. This wing is not going to go anywhere unless you deliberately move it. I can pick up the craft, and it's just fine. When you sit them in their position, the wings should be angled in but not touching. It can move to like that, but that's not too pretty. And then a little bit on this back side, there's those pieces showing through on the back, kind of ruining the look of the thing, but yeah, it's okay, I guess. $70 ought to give me something at least. For armament, we have 2 cannons here, 2 cannons there. I really like the piece that goes over there. It's shown in the actual model and has been used, different pieces have been used to make that shape through the other models, especially the 2015 and the 2010 one. The side paneling, to make it space, it's pretty simple. You've got some sloped 3x4s and some of these pieces and some of this pieces. It's what you get. This vent piece is printed. It's actually a really nice piece. It's got a nice little luster to it. You can't quite exactly see as well on camera as in person, but it actually looks really nice. There's a little bit of detailing going up onto the wing, or the dorsal fin, or whatever you want to call it. The dorsal fin itself, kind of big. Doesn't look as big as it is in person, but it is huge. It's very strong and sturdy. Can take this Imperial Shuttle, shake it around, a little rattling. This guy can't handle a little bit of movement. He's getting a little motion sickness. There's the gray parts on the side here, accurate to the actual model of this thing. One thing I will mention though is this bit is a little bit short. It could go about 2 studs out or something, even just 1. it just looks a little off from the rest of the model. The back side shows the rear cant turret. It doesn't quite exactly look too accurate, but you know, it's fine. I think one of my favorite parts though are these curved bits on the side, you know, these three, especially when they come around to the back. It just curves off nicely. And then you get the light blue / white engine thrust, which looks really nice and very rounded off back part, except for when you get to here it's a little rough. I don't know if that's my fault or not, but it looks okay, you know, but decent enough. It looks pretty nice, and when I get it up to its correct form, it looks pretty good in its landed position. Not exactly to scale, but you know, good enough. Double chin. And then one thing that I did notice was another Lego YouTuber, Jangbricks. He said that you can't quite exactly pick this contraption up without the hinge coming off and it flying upward. I do actually know what caused that. In every other Lego review, and even in the instructions, it had this red piece, like how it is right now. That can be turned around and all that, but the way it's at, it's not going to move unless you push back, which is a decent contraption using a rubber piece. Stretching it out, eventually that'll wear out, but you know. So, I will show you what Jangbricks did. Nothing against the guy. I'm just saying what he did is incorrect. Not the strongest. Maybe not these bricks, but if you grab it by that central structure, it should hold up, unless you did what, like I'm about to show you. So here we have the configuration as Jangbricks did it, where this curved part is up top and the axle is going left to right, not up and down. Still closes just the same, but when you lift it up, it does not hold. You know, nothing too terrible unless you want to carry it like this, but I mean, it doesn't even hold. I have to use my finger to hold it, you know, grabbing underneath. Yeah, so just a little thing I found. On the top part of the wings, we have very nice, I guess almost nice detailing. It's this gray piece, which is accurate to the model, as well as the yellow light, which also is accurate to the model. Other than that, it's just studded over. Same with this part, you know, a little bit of tiling, but other than that, it looks, so it's not terrible, the contrast from the sides where it's smooth compared to studs. It's a very iconic look for Lego to have all these studs up, but I don't know if it's the right one in this case. So here we have the first of 3 minifigures in the set, the Imperial Pilot / Officer, as he is officially labeled. You'll see for his weapon or gear of choice, you know, the same thing everybody really gets is this little blaster. It's a pistol, nothing special, you know, you gotta have at least 5. The minifigure has really nice detailing on the torso and the back. The cap is really nice. It has that little, I wouldn't call it the Imperial insignia, but I don't think they could have made it big enough to show the detail, but I'm assuming that's what it is. His little communications set up right next to his face, you know, for talking to people, saying we're being hit or something. Other than that, he's pretty nice, I guess. You know, not the most common minifigure, but not the most sought after. The second of 3 minifigures we have is Luke Skywalker, Episode 6 version. He has his green lightsaber, which, you know, lightsaber, as well as a pair of handcuffs. Not the most common piece to find in Lego Star Wars, but, you know, you put them on his wrists and he can't move. And you can take them off semi-easily. Of course, now that I'm on camera, I can't do them well. here we have Luke Skywalker. No printing or anything on his legs. Kind of disappointing, but okay. He has some printing on his shirt. The back of him has printing. You know, a little pouch and belt and all that. His face, you know, comes with a little smirk, those tan eyebrows. This tan hairpiece matches him very well. And then he's a little more upset. And for our third out of 3 minifigures in this set, we have Darth Vader. The myth, the legend. This is actually my first minifigure Darth Vader. I have, kind of dark there, but the buildable figure as well as a brickhead Darth Vader, but this is my first minifigure Darth Vader. It's just managed to elude my grasps for the past 2 years or so. Yeah, it's really simple, honestly, the design. You know, you've got his face, looks like a toasted marshmallow, change my mind. The bottom side piece actually looks really nice. Here's a spare piece. You know, it just fits in together, and when you take the helmet piece, they just go together and fit nicely. Pretty decent. The helmet itself is really nice detail. It detailed a lot of contours and greeveling. You know, he has his regular red lightsaber. Torso printing is nice. Unfortunately, there are no arms, but honestly, I'm just excited to have a Darth Vader. You know, and the back is really just a bunch of robes. Really and truly simple, but nice in its own little way. And so there we go, folks. Set number 756-302, no 6. 660 pieces, that's where I was getting it from. The Imperial Shuttle with 3 minifigures, Darth Vader, Imperial Officer, and Luke Skywalker. Comes pretty nice package. Could have A, more minifigures, B, less chins. But, you know, it's okay. I mean, I'm really excited to modify this set because that's, at the end of the day, that's what I look forward to in a set. You know, maybe not the best neck, maybe not the best chin or the landing gear, but, I mean, at the end of the day, I get an Imperial Shuttle. And at the end of the day, I get to spend my time modifying this Imperial Shuttle, doing what I think is my favorite part about Lego. But, you know, most people just buy the set for their kids, I'm assuming. And, you know, their kids will build it, you know, play with it a little bit, turn it into parts, but... Or, you know, you're the first-time collector, maybe you're looking for a little model, you know, something you can set up, but... You know, it's okay at the end of the day. It's just okay. But I guess it's decent, I guess. You know, not much I have to complain other than, you know, the neck, the chins, the landing gear, that really, all that stuff, the cockpit, oh my goodness, that is terrible. I'm like exaggerating both ends of the spectrum. It's fine. It's fine. But, you know, I guess if you want to subscribe to, you know, this video, much like the shuttle itself, is very okay and decent. So if you subscribe and leave a like, maybe I'll make better content, maybe I won't. We'll see what I do. It would mean the whole galaxy to me if you left a friendly little comment on the video telling me what I need to do to make this better, what I should do. If you have an idea for something to modify, tell me that as well. And I'll see you folks later. Bye-bye.